But by the time Daniel got to Aaron's house, it was already filled with folk, and there was no room left inside. Well, no room for most people. Daniel just dropped on all fours and crawled through the crowd as if they were the enemy line. He scooted between legs, he wriggled through gaps, he used his make-believe sword once or twice, and finally he was there, smack in the middle of Aaron's house, not a stick-sword's length from Jesus. He'd never seen anything like it. There was the blind lady he had seen on the street. Jesus laid his hands on her blind eyes, bowed his head and prayed, and when he took his hands away, the woman's eyes shone clear, bright and blue.
"I can see! I can see! I can see! I can see!"
She shouted for so long that Daniel put his hands over his ears. She shouted so loud, Daniel thought she would shout the roof off the place. And so she did, or so it seemed. Bits of stuff started to fall from the roof. The woman laughed and pointed. She was just happy to see it. But all Daniel could think about was his father, who had put the roof up and wouldn't be pleased to see it coming down. The pieces were getting bigger, and it was clear the woman's shouting had nothing to do with it. Someone was wrecking the roof. Jesus stepped back. Aaron stepped back. The once blind woman stepped back. Everyone looked up at the roof. There were holes and hands reaching through to tear away those brand new tiles and make a big hole. All Daniel could think about was what his father would say, and how his father would look, red-faced with his teeth clenched and his eyes dark, sharp slits. And then Daniel saw his father. He wasn't in the crowd. He wasn't leaning through a window. He was up there, peering down through the hole in the roof.
"Now, Aaron, I know I just put this roof on, but one of my men has been sick, and the sickness left him paralysed. We tried to get him past the crowd, but we couldn't. And he needs to get in. He needs to see Jesus. This just seemed to be the most practical way. I'm sorry. I'll fix it free of charge."
Aaron grunted, and Daniel's father and 3 of his friends lowered a man down to Jesus on a bed with strong ropes at each corner.
"Friend, your sins are forgiven." "How dare you? And who do you think you are? Only God can forgive sins." "Hearts? Legs? I suppose they're all both pretty difficult to fix. So I'll fix one to prove I can fix the other. Get up and walk."
And he did. So well, in fact, that he rolled up his own bed. So well he could have climbed back out of that hole if he'd wanted to. But he walked through the crowd instead, praising God, with Daniel shouting behind him.
"Daniel, what are you doing here?"
Oops. He'd forgotten about cleaning the workshop. He lowered his head and marched outside to meet his father.
"Good work is important, but good friends are more important still."
"So can I go and play with my friends now, instead of clearing up your workshop?"
"No. I have to take care of the mess I made today, and you still have to clear the workshop. But after we've finished, I don't see any reason why you and I shouldn't spend some time with our friends."